Today we unbox Arydia from Far Off Games. Let's go! Welcome to Jeux tous Azimuts, gaming in all directions. Today we unbox Arydia from Far Off Games. Arydia is a beautiful Kickstarter that started a long time ago, August 2021. It just got delivered. The game got through all kinds of adventures and personal tragedies, but finally it's here and we can take a look at it. The designer of the game is named Cody Miller. I had a chance to meet that person, and frankly, that was an event. Great human being, very kind, and I'm really happy for him and his company to be able to finally deliver the game. The artists are Philip Ack, Tess Anderson, Lena Cossette, David Forrest, and Kirk Hamilton. So now, this is a Jeux tous Azimuts unboxing. That means if I start talking about something else, then I'll go through and we'll come back, but I'll try to speak mostly of the game. First of all, this is a beast of a game. Okay, it's a well over 20-pounder, and that's the front. The subtitle is The Path We Dare Tread, which is kind of very interesting and kind of leans you towards adventure. That's what you see in the back. And let me just turn this around. Let's go from the top and remove the top and see how it looks, because I think you're gonna like that. Okay, all right, let's just put it straight. There we go. It's coming. Et voila. Now, through this is not going to be some kind of a complete unboxing where you're going to see everything. Why? Because the way the game has been designed, there's a lot to discover when you're told by the story. This is a campaign game. Game sessions are about 60 minutes, but it's, they said, about 40 hours campaign, which is pretty typical for a good role-playing game, but now on a tabletop form. The game is based on 4 different big pillars: exploration, progression, combat, and roleplay. So it's a 1 through 4 experience. I suggest that if you play one solo, to probably take at least 2 characters so you can have a little more of the experience. So let's take a look at what's in there, and we'll talk about it as we go. So first of all, there's the rule book. Let's go to the top and take a look at it. Let's see if we can get closer. All right, looks like I fixed the camera, so let's go and see if we can get closer to the rule book. Perfect. It's about 36 pages, and it tells you at the beginning that if you're playing it for the first time, there's a quick start guide that we'll look at it in a moment. So look at this. Great list of components, and there are a lot of components throughout the game. Setup, playing a character, basic rules. You can see there's a lot of text, plenty of examples, but it's very texty. The level of rules is set at 3.62 on BGG. So this means it is not a light game, but it's not that heavy when you're thinking about against very deep Euro style. Okay, so yeah, it looks beautiful. And there's an index as well. So table of content and index. Great sign of a good rule book. You know, after all, this is a technical document. Even if it's for a game, it behaves like a technical document. So index and table of content are de facto something you want to look for. Okay, what else do we got? The quick start guide. So this is where you should start at first. Again, it's going to list the components, the ones you need quickly to start. Talks about the different cars, location, exploring the map, combat, keys, point of interest, and so forth. How do you level up? Yeah, it looks great. It even has a small index, so good document. Really look forward to look at it. The color palette is really beautiful. Okay. Next, the title of the game is called Path We Dare Tread, and path is one choice you're going to have to make when you create a character. There are 6 paths available. So you have the path of valor, the path of inspiration. So each of them has its own unique pamphlet for presenting how this path behaves and how you should play that character. So that's the second one. Then you have the path of light, path of wandering, path of arcana, which kind of feels it's going to be about the magic, and path of shadows. So these are the 6 paths you can take and select. There we go. I'm trying to remember how it's going to be set up, because it is not a simple box to keep order. However, they gave us a great infographic on the side and help. And if you look closely, I'm going to try to bring it closer to you, but if you look closely on the side, these are all the names of the backers. That's a long list. And yes, somewhere I am in that list. I believe I'm somewhere here. Okay, so punching boards, not many, 3. So let's take a look at how this looks. And maybe I should put it on the right side. There we go. Equipment, skills, and if you wanted tokens for the game, there's plenty of them here for strength, dexterity from 1 through 9. You get all of those. They'll be used on your character board. And finally, the third one, there we go. And we have some suggestions of names. I don't know if these for the characters or they're NPCs or something like that, but you get your races here: human, elf, halfling, dwarf, lunari, and orc, Feelish, Slin, and Fey. So there we got 3, 6, 9 types. Interesting. Okay. All right. Now, let me show you again the top from the top, so you'll see what's in the box. Let's go back a little bit. There. Okay. So this is how it looks from the inside. So we'll take a look at different parts. So, all right, let's start with these little boxes on the side, because I'm trying to unbox it the way I can put it back cleanly. So these boxes, you got 7 of them. You get the 6 ones that belong for each of those paths we were talking about earlier. So trying to put them in order. There we go. From the top again. So you get the 6 boxes for the path. You see? There. And if we open one of them, oh, out of focus it seems. Let's try to fix this. There we go. Maybe not. Okay, take the focus and we come back. Okay, better. So I'm going to take, for example, the Path of Inspiration. And this mini top boxes contains the different tokens I need for that path. Now, depending on which path, you might have more or less, but you will have some kind of equipment. Maybe these are the equipment to start with when you choose that path. I'm not sure. But I find the fact that you have these tuck boxes each at the start. Really well done. And 2 tokens, 2 pieces of equipment. Here I have a bow and boots. What's interesting is that they are pre-cut. So these are not punch boards you have to do yourself. Everything has been done in advance. So somehow it kind of keeps, if you don't look at those, it kind of keeps the surprise until you start. Okay. So we've seen those. And there's a 7th. That's for Arydia itself. It says wood. Also, same type, tokens and smaller tokens. So let's put those aside. And let's take a look at what we have here. So already we start with boxes that tells you, you know what, don't open until you're told to. So there's not much I can do. The only thing I'm going to tell you from the feel of it is that there's probably some large tiles. Maybe punch boards, I don't know. And I don't want to look at it, even if, no. Alright, so there's one there. There's a second big box. Also, but this one has a lot more components in it by the sound of it. So probably tokens and maybe characters. Okay, so that's the first left side. If we continue on the top, this I'm going to keep for last because these are the characters. It's probably one of the most interesting aspect and design choice they've done for the whole game. What else? If there's anything else I need to... currently, it's quoted at 8.8 on BGG, which is a very high level. And there's, 236 ratings last time I looked? It's probably more right by the time you look at it. Tokens. What I like is that, one, they're, classic plastic ones. They're very nice. With the zoom, that's what you get. Let me just go back. That's better. Okay, so they're really nice crystals for some kind of a resource. It's the container. It's a real good container. It's not some trash plastic that you don't want to use during the game. You can use that container straight off to your table. So we got those. We got some same thing but the red ones. There's one of a different color in there. If you see right there, there, you see, there's a yellowish one. Don't know why this one is there. Probably a specific use, but there's only one of them, at least that I can see. Then we got dice. Those are very interesting because they're oversized and they are custom. So we take a look at those. I believe these mark either the place you get hit in combat or something like that. I'm not certain, but I think that's what it is. But again, very nice. Good container that you can use in the game. This is called the... oops, let's go from the top, sorry. This is called a threat track. So as you play, you'll probably put a cube here going up on the combo and from the threat. Put that there. Move this. And the next piece we can show, while we're in the token topic, are these. There are 4 types in there. The plastic bag is really thick, so you know it. Oh, there's heft here, and there's weight. You'll see why in a moment. We some plastic cubes, nothing fancy, really, really very simple. But the main event are these 3. Gold, silver, and copper of bullions, something like that. They probably represent money, but they're real metal. I'm going to just make you hear what I mean. I don't know if you can hear that, but let me show you. These are metal. There's heft to those. Really nice. And a little cold because they're metal. So we got gold, silver, and copper. We have a lot more. Take a look at that. can hear the sound this time. And they look absolutely gorgeous. And that's one of the small choices they've done to augment the weight of the game, but I think it's really worth it. And again, the container is very good to keep those. Oh, forgot. They all go in that big pouch. Okay. So it's pretty much the tokens I've seen so far, except a few that we'll take a look at a little later, because when I did the unboxing in French, it wasn't that good to find everything that's in the box. But yes, you know, it's kind of the box itself is a puzzle. Alright, so let me close this, and we'll go there, and we'll pull this piece out. That's probably the biggest puzzle we have, is this. Again, from the top, we'll see we have all these 6 Path of Valor boxes. I'll take one and I'll show you what's in there. So in the path of each box is beautifully illustrated with a specific color. So that's Valor, so that's inspiration. Come on. There we go. Let's keep that in order. That's light. That's wandering. That's Arcana. And Shadow. They're all beautiful. So let's take a look at Valor. And each of them will be the same, which will be 3 pieces. Specific cards for that path. Wooden cubes that you'll put on your player board and probably other places. And finally, a D20. A nice D20 in the color of that path. So purple for the purple box, yellow, red, green, and so forth. So that's what we got in each of that. So it makes it easy to pick up your path when you're playing a character. You just pick up a few things from all over the box and you got that. Now, last time I unboxed it for French, I stopped. I forgot that there are stuff in here. I didn't notice them. So now I do. So I'm going to be able to show you what's in there. Small circles for the characters, and they seem to have a pointy for the direction. So you get plenty, and I think that's a clue that you have more miniatures in there than the main characters. That's just a guess from me. Okay. Blue cubes, nothing fancy, just listed there. And somehow, yeah, another set of blue, so I don't know why they were additionals. And you have this set of specific tokens that I haven't looked at before. So this is for you right now. Exiles Squills token for service. It's very nice. It's a wood piece. Very nice. Multi-layered. And we have those 3 also for some tokens. Obviously, we'll learn about those as we go along in the game. Alright, so let's put those back where they belong. Hidden under here. Put those back over up there. And we'll start talking about those big boxes. So we have 3 of those. So we'll bring those 3 together. You can probably guess by the size of it, these are the cards. So, beautiful boxes, okay? That goes straight on the table for presents. And each box has different types of cards. Event, job, threat probably, party, foe, key, day, point of interest, NPCs, travel, and reference, something like that. All right, so each, they're all the same. You look, you open the box, and that's what you get. All the cards are pre-cut, pre-placed, unpacked, and not only does it save plastic, which I can really appreciate for the environment, but also they're pre-sorted. That means you're not going to be spoiling yourself trying to sort them out. They're already in order. The only thing missing are the dividers that are somewhere. We'll see them in a moment. So these 3 boxes have all their cards ready to go. And that's probably what makes half the heft of the game. Just these 3 boxes, thousands of cards available. Okay, what's next? Let's talk about these. Again, because we're using multiple paths, we're facing multiple of the same item, but 6 times. These are the player boards, and you get the same big picture for each of the path, much nicer. And in the back, you get a description of your player boards. So let's take a look at the Path of Valor. Each of them, again, very similar, but we'll take the Path of Valor as an example. So what do you have in there? It's kind of your save status, or you pull this easily to start playing. So you have your main board. So we'll go on the top to take a look at it. That's your main board. There. And it's accompanied by this one. So that's the second part of it. And you see you have all the places where you'll be holding equipment, your level of life on the right side, the Path of Valor at the bottom, which has another cube you're going to grow there. So really good. And finally we have this third. Now those boards are, I would call them four thickness, 2 printed and 2 for solidification of the board. It's really, really thick. But you thought this one was thick. Oops, sorry. This one was thick. Look at this one. This one is almost another layer above it. What are these? These are skills or something like that. And the beauty of this type of board is how you access those tokens, because at the top it looks like a punch board that you need to pull out. How do you do that? The way they designed it is that you push at the bottom, and did you see? See? It just slanted, so it's easy for me to lift. And here's the inside. You can see the depth of it. And I have my token I can place on my character for one of their skill. This one is about what? Proud Iron Guard. So, and when you're done, you can just come back, and it just goes back in without a problem, waiting to be punched back again. Now, is how will it last to stay tight like that? I don't know. I'm hoping that it will for a while. Then you're not going to be running after them falling apart after 3 uses, but I doubt it. From the quality of everything I've seen so far, this is going to last for a while, being as it is. So you have 6 of those for the 6 paths. Let's continue. This is the world map. Beautiful. And also, you just saw what I did. I'm trying to show you. This one too was just pulled and lifted, because that's the same type of thickness of the board. You also discover these tiles as you go through the world. What else? I'm trying to avoid going to the tiles, but I think that's where we're at right now. So let's take a look. There's one box at the bottom. It's called DOS. No, it's not an operating system, but they don't want us to open it until directed, so we're going to leave it there. It's just a large box with the word DOS on it. Nothing fancy. Okay, this is one key of the game. These are the tiles. These are the large tiles. That's why it says big. And look at how many we've got. I'm not going to open those. I'm going to show you what the top one looks like. And we have even a set of separators for the active and inactive tiles. But that's what the front of a tile looked like. So you can see there's some kind of a playground, not playground, but prairie, and you got some water, you got some bushes, and you see the square structure for the movement. And in the back of those tiles, you'll have a description. Something like that. But as I said, each of them are numbered, so obviously the story will tell you bring big 59B and you'll take that tile or set aside. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this game is said to be light legacy. That means that with the choice you're going to do, there are parts of the game you're not going to see, and instead of throwing components or breaking them, well, you just set them aside. There we go. We're going to be lucky. No. I should have put them on the other side. Put them out. Sorry about that. That way. Because we're fighting the opening of the box at the bottom. That's why. There we go. Okay. That should go in better. There. Perfect. Okay. So these are the big tiles. We've got the medium tiles, same principle, you know, active, inactive, and a large number of tiles. And if you thought we stopped there, big, medium, small. It's as if we're in the Goldilocks, you know, the big bed, the small bed, and the medium bed. Well, you get all these different tiles to put for your story. I talked about the separators for the cards in the boxes. That's where they are, with the names of those colors, categories we had before. So that's where they are. And last category of tiles are the long ones. So, you know, some kind of a road, corridor, river. So as you build your story, you'll be laying out those tiles and moving your characters above them. That's really, really nice. You know, instead of having X tiles or just square ones, you have plenty of different shapes. No, that one has nothing. The only two big boxes that are left here are big box 1 and 2. And these, they tell you don't open yet, but we're going to take a look inside because I want to show you something. I don't know if you remember if you ever had an advent calendar, maybe a Lego one or Harry Potter one or something like that. Every day for the 24 days of the advent, you had a small little door that you opened, you pried it, and you pulled out something. Well, if it was the Star Wars Lego one, you were pulling, you know, a mini model to build or a mini Harry Potter figurine, or if it was a candy advent calendar, well, you had a treat for the day. Now, they are using the same principle. Each item you can have access to are behind some doors, and you're going to come and just pull, lift the tab, and pull out the resource that they're asking you to get. And from the sound of it, I don't hear much on that one. But it might be tokens, it might be a character, it might be a cube, I don't know. So really interesting. We got box 1 and we got box 2. Same thing. We also have the doors that we're told to open when it's time. And you know what? Now that everything is out, I can probably show you that DOS box. Do not open until directed. And these are boards actually, so that should be easy for me to pull out. But yeah, there's a FA3. They're all numbered, so not open. I'm gonna keep it that way. All right. Okay. There's only one thing left. That's the base game. There's one expansion that's called Epic Hunt. We'll come back to it in a moment. There's one thing we haven't looked at, and that's the characters. So let me put those back in here, so it'll give us some room to work with. And it goes under. Does it? No. Okay. The big one goes like that. It's really a question of millimeter in that box. Seriously, everything is so precisely placed. Okay. The characters. You have 6 main characters or body types in there. And for inclusion, they even have an expansion that allows you to choose smaller versions for them. Let's say you want to do a dwarf and you want to have a specific path you want to take. You can take that smaller body of it. It's really, really interesting. One of the main choice they've done is that they painted their minis. Much better than anything you and I, maybe not all of you, but some of you might be able to do a great job painting, but not me. So I'm really glad that we have those. So we'll take a look at this. This is one of the body types for the path. Look at this. It's beautiful. Yeah, it doesn't mean much, and you can see there's a big hole where the head should be. That's because we have 18 different heads for the choice we're going to make for defining our character. So I'm going to choose one just to give you an idea. And there we go. Well, I should put it in front. I'll be better. There we go. Well, let me go back to show you that character again. And now we have a character. Now we're talking. Well, if I don't feel like playing the, someone that looks like the Viking one, I can just swap the head, and let's say that I want that this character is some kind of a Khajiit, like in Skyrim, or something like that. Boom. Voila. I have a new character. And I have 18 of those choices that I can do. And the pulling and inserting the head feels very solid. So let's take a look at the other body types for the different paths. So we got some kind of I know it's a little more creepy without a head, but they're really, really, really nice. Look at that. It's beautiful. This one I feel like if I wanted to define a rogue, that's how I would define it, Knife in hand, ready to go almost. The clothing feels like, stealthy. Next one. Sword and maybe something to cast spells. And finally we got one that's probably more like a musician, because we can see the instrument on his shoulder, his or her, of course. There we go. So, really, really great design choice. And I can recall on a campaign update when Mr. Cody received these for the first time, he was ecstatic because he was discovering them. Just like we are right now. It's really, really well done. Beautiful. This augments the experience quite a lot because, again, on the table, when you see your character in full color, it's beautiful. Now, let's talk about that expansion called Epic Hunt. So you get 2 SKUs for that box, one with and one without. And what do you have in there? You have three things. You got a series of cards for the expansion with specific rules for the expansion, a bunch of specific tiles, probably skills for your different path, and then you can see they're colored for the different paths of path available. So probably one or two each. And we have this little box, which, if you think about this, will look like this one. So we have another mini available, and it is just beautiful. Let me show you how it looks. Look at that. Great. Again, much better than any job I would have done on a painting. So this little expansion brings you this character from some kind of a boss or something, and another piece of the adventure. Sorry about that. I'll finish packing once we're done here. Yeah, got them all over. So this is it. This is Arydia, the path with your tread. Let's see if there's anything else I need to mention. The website has it for pre-order. So right now they're filling for backers, but once they're done, it's going to be available for purchase. Anything else? There's a soundtrack available from their site, so you want to put yourself in the mood for the game. We talked about this. I think we're good. Well, that's it. I'm gonna now have to use that diagram and pack this all back until I'm ready to play. Thank you for being here. I hope you might be interested by this game, because that's what we do here at Jeux Tous Azimuts. We explore games, and when we find one, we talk about it. Thank you very much for being here. Until next time. Bye-bye.